Hello and welcome to Yerushalmi Berachos Daf Ayin Gimel in the Oz v'Hadar print, and we're going to talk about a very fascinating topic today of Birchas HaTorah, whether it's Derabanan or Deoreisa. And if you're doing the actual blot, you'll see that the Gemara has a very fascinating conversation about the Baal Koreh, the three people that are reading from a Torah. Are they like the Zimun? And should one person make a bracha at the beginning and then one at the end only? And a whole conversation. And the Gemara says some very interesting things about Birchas HaTorah being on the Tzibor and not on the Yachid, which is beyond the scope of this conversation. To explain all that, but I and Sham, and I'm sure you'll look at all the Mefarshim and see. But basically, I just wanted to talk about the Gemara seems to imply, Bavli and Yerushalmi, that Berachos HaTorah is Deoreisa, and it quotes a pasuk, Ki Shem Hashem Ekar Havu Godel Elokenu, which is a pasuk in Dvarim, and Gemara here discusses it, the Bavli discusses it, etc. There's a lot of conversations about it. That it seems to be Deoreisa. Now, there are people that argue with this and say it's Derabanan, and they therefore just explain that it's an asmachta, as many places. But the Ramban in Sefer HaMitzvos, the Rashba in the Bavli, and the Sefer HaChinuch, and the Shagazari all seem to say that it's Deoreisa. One of the very, very famous Makaros of the Shagazari is actually a Gemara in Nedarim, for those that are finishing up Daf Yomi very soon. So the Gemara says al ma'av ha'aretz, what was the land destroyed on? Al shalabercha b'torah techila, and so the Eretz Yisrael and the Jews went into Gullus, and so much death transpired because the Gemara says explicitly because they didn't make a Berachos HaTorah. So the Shagazari says that this is a definitive raya that it must be Deoreisa, because how in the world could the Torah could you destroy Eretz Yisrael, which is kind of like a Deoreisa in itself, and all the Deoreisas that took place in those mitzvos, just for a Derabanan, so to speak. Now, so he says that's a Raya Nitzachas. So there's actually many people that actually disagree with the Shagazari, and let's first discuss just the actual Rishonim on it. So, for example, the Pri Megadim in Hilchos Berachos has a discussion about it. The Pnei Moshe has a whole discussion in his Shalos Chuvos. The Rif, the Rosh, the Torah. Many people say that it's Derabanan, and there's a lot to say about this. But first of all, Shalabercha Torah Tchila, we find sometimes that the punishment for not following Chazal, Poritz Gederi Shechenu Nachash, is actually sometimes more strict than not following the Torah. Even though Kol Ma Tikkun Derabanan Kein Deoreisa Tikkun, but sometimes Hashem punishes more for the Derabanan. So it's not such a kasha. Many people answer that. Also, it could be that I heard this from Shirley Braunstein, who's an amazing Talmud Chacham, but he brought down from many Svarim as well, that it could be that Enechanami, maybe the Berachos HaTorah is Derabanan, maybe it is, but it's just that since they didn't do it, therefore it showed a disrespect to the Torah, and Kavod Torah is Deoreisa for sure. So it was indicative of what was really going on inside them. And Shirley Braunstein also pointed out very, very well that if you look at the Rishonim in that Gemara, Al Ma'av Da'aretz, most of them don't explain the Gemara Kipshuto. Meaning it's one of the few Gemaras where they don't normally say a Mikra Yotzei Pshuto and Gemara Yotzei Pshuto, right? That one actually they give all these explanations as to what's really going on, and it very well could be that because that Gemara is shouting Darshuni, like what does it even mean? They didn't make a Berachos HaTorah. That's the problem, right? Like what did they do wrong? But Elamai, there was an attitude about Torah, so that caused the Beis Hamikdash to be destroyed. Remember that's talking about Bias Rishon. By Sheni was Sinas Chinam, Gila Raish, was Talmud Azara, etc. Okay, so those are some of the conversations going back and forth in the Gemara, just to be aware of is Berachos HaTorah Deoreisa or Derabanan, and trying to figure out what the Yerushalmi holds, etc. And I hope that helps point you in the right direction of what to focus on. Have a great day.